So I know you said like inner child, but did you ever have to think about releasing yourself from the savior's complex? That God complex that I can just save people.
The martyr thing. I mean, even in that, it was like, when I'm coming up, we hearing about Jesus a lot.
Yeah.
I like the idea that I thought, oh, Jesus is a dope guy. Like, look what he did for
doubt.
people. It's like,
Look,
and he's just dope. It's like, it's like, oh, okay, but it's like, I'm not Jesus.
You're not him.
It's a story.
It's a story
to understand and to learn from.
Right.
And to see what's possible. Right. Because that's all stories are for me. Like, even in 10th grade, I mentioned my depression. That was my first time getting to therapy. But I'm also like, okay, what's up with this Malcolm X book?
Yeah,
watch the movie. What's up? What's his story?
What's his
I
story?
want to know a little more. I want to read his thoughts.
That's a classic. I love that book.
Classic.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he sat down with a dictionary. He's not only reading, but he's writing the words.
He's writing the words.
So I'm describing. So then he's like, I'm like, okay, he's reading all these texts. He's not just limited. Oh, I'm gonna read the Bible and I'm gonna just stop there. He's like, I'm gonna check some other perspectives out. Because I can.
Right.
Like,
right.
Go stop.
And that's my thing. You can learn from anything. You just got to be open minded, and then taking that information and curtailing it to how it will, suit you. You know what I mean? How you want to use it.
And it's like when I have done my proper can eyes, I see what I mesh with. So everything that I've observed isn't for me.
It's not for you.
Like I've been joking about a couple of things. It's like, that'd be interesting to relate in that way. You're like, nah, that's for them folk. And there's nothing wrong with what brought them to that space. But I really sit with the combination of my experiences and the intentions I've set for my future. So it's like everything don't align with that vision.
Right.
And I'm just very intentional about alignment. Like what is in alignment.
What fit, what don't fit, what's compatible, what's suit. Yeah, you got to. Because when you have a clear vision for your life, you have to be very succinct on where I'm going, where I'm not going, what I'm bringing in, what I'm letting out, what I'm willing to invest, those sacrifices. And every season is different. Every season of sacrifice is different. So one season you sacrifice here, then another season going to be different. One season you was in this environment, the next season you're not. So it's always... flexible. Is always changing, something different.
I love that you said that because it's like
every season calls for something different.
It's like the balance.
The balance.
I've been hearing a lot. Balance. You should be more balanced. I said I'm focused.
Focus
means something ain't part of the balance, and then everything don't get to be put on the scale.
Right.
Just like if I'm balancing,
I'm
okay. I'm balancing work and God. Right now, I'm balancing my understandings. I'm balancing realer. I sit with balance because as I say, focus. Right, I'm focused on vision.
Yeah.
Right. So some people are like, well, where's your personal life? I said, my personal life is never out of the equation.
Right.
Focusing on my vision.
Focus on your vision
because my vision impacts my personal life.
Right. It's interconnected to everything. Yeah.
So I got a little confused. What do you consider balance?
What I consider balance is just being able to manage the controllables. Whatever I can control, I'm controlling that well. I'm stewarding those things well. So that's why I look at it as balance. And I'm also been thinking about this too, and I've been sharing it with some brothers, is that let's look at harmony. Let's look at being more harmonious in our life. Let's look to do that because balance, like we was talking about, the scales can kind of, but if I'm looking to be harmonious and control the controllables and then put in my mindset that whatever I can't control, they out there, but my controllables, I'm going to make sure that I'm harmonizing with those and making sure that I'm taking care of those things well so that it can provide that harmony in my life. And then being very conscientious about, okay, what things come to me pretty like this.
Because I can build on those quick.
Run
with those.
And that gives you the confidence. It's not saying that we don't go for things that stretch us, because we do need stretching, because that builds character and integrity and things like that. But sometimes we don't have to run ourselves in the mud trying to do every blessed thing where you got a couple things here that's like
small wins
that can add up to the
big victories later.
The big goal, the big chip.
And I sit with it like, you don't become a husband on the wedding day.
Right.
You a husband before.
Yeah, I've been married 11 years, bro.
Right, like you were a husband energy before you even play with the word.
Right.
I'm a married before you even play with a concept of wife.
Exactly.
You have husband energy.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's heavy.
Harmony. Let's look for harmony, bro.
That's a fact.
That balance, man. I'd be like, I'm trying to balance it. Oh. You know, it's always lopsided.
And false scales.
Because
it's like, what weight has been assigned to things, because sometimes my understanding, that's why I say faith so much, because lean not into thine own understanding was like, okay, it's points in this where I'm assigning more weight to this than it really has. I can just take that out of the equation. Like, that's a distraction.
That's a distraction, because every good thing is always not a good thing.
Good for some, but not good for all. Everything ain't good for everybody.
Everything not good for everybody. That's why, kind of like you say, you gotta know your vision. Where we at? Where I'm at? Okay, hey, yeah, Bip, come up to here. Well, we gonna give you this. Then it's like, does that even align to the vision that I have set for my life? It's great. Sounds good on paper, but does this align to where I see myself going? A lot of times we can get entrapped by things that don't align. It was a good opportunity, but then you find yourself kind of stuck there, and it's like, man, how do I get myself out? But it's like, yo, you didn't even take the time to assess it. Is this in alignment with my values? Is it in alignment with the vision? Is this the time now? Do I have the resources? You know, do I have the emotional capacity? Do I have the mental capacity to take on this opportunity? Sounds good. They believe in me, and I believe in myself too. But it's like, we have to do the proper assessments before, so we can make informed decisions and not just, you know, off the cuff decisions. Because I've been there where I just went off the cuff, made a decision, and I regretted it. But I had to learn that, you know, decisions have to be assessed. You know, you have to assess spiritually, you have to assess emotionally, you have to assess, and mentally you have to assess before I say yes to something.
Because a yes is a definite.
You locked in.
Yeah.
You locked in.
I say no, but I can see.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Let me come back.
Because it gives a little more pivot.
Yeah.
But a yes is a certain.
You locked in.
I'll honor our word.
Yeah.
Mother used to say it a lot. Cause and effect. It's different things that was said growing up that like stuck to me and would irritate me at times, but I would had to live into it.
For sure.
Leader, not a follower.
Right.
Like, okay. So I'm always thinking from a position of like, what do I look like as a leader?
Yeah. Yeah.
What advice would you give any aspiring therapists?
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing a lot of people aspire to be healers.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some people step into healing without getting certified, without getting full qualification.
Yeah. So my advice with that goes back to what my clinical supervisor told me coming up. I was a young buck out here, and my clinical supervisor, I was working at an outpatient mental health clinic, and we had like our supervision, because as a master therapist, in order to get to the next level of licensure, you got to do clinical supervision. So he had a conversation with me. All the conversations were powerful because he's just a master at what he does. But this one conversation was just game changing for me. And he was basically saying that don't play with people's lives. Don't play with it. What you're doing is serious. And because of the magnitude and weight of what you do as a therapist, please invest in your study. Don't neglect the study of the craft, because it's an honor for you to be here. It's an honor, so protect it, study it, because people are coming to you, and you don't want to play with people's lives like that. And when he told me that, I was just stuck. But then after I left and I processed, I'm like, yep, you right. And then from that point on, you see the books over here. The study is ongoing. So to all my aspiring healers and therapists out here, really understand that what you're stepping into is something of impact. You're dealing with people's lives, and don't play with it. Like, study, Study. Know yourself. Study yourself.
Know thyself.
Know thyself. Study yourself. Study the content. And really be official in what you do. Because I know, like, in this, and I'm about to go here, in this day and age, you know, we can get access to information so quick. And we can make ourselves feel like, oh yeah, I'm the professional. Let me go on Chat GPT, listen to this, look at this quote here on Instagram, compile all these quotes, and now I'm a therapist. And I just want to say, like, this profession here requires you, the real you, and it requires real investment and study, because again, people's souls are on the line. And for me, I don't want to be coming into a situation where I wasn't prepared. Somebody's soul on the line, and they take, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying I can't control what people do, but at the same time, I'm an influencer in this moment. So I gotta take this serious, man. So that's my advice to those that's looking to get into therapy and wanting to be healers is know thyself. And once you know thyself, really lock in on your why. And let your why be of internal impact, not just for you, what I can look like or what I can feel like.
I love it.
But really make it for internal impact and look for eternal opportunities.
One of my students, Caleb, he's at high school now, but he said, my why list is longer than my wish list. And I was like, it's one of them classics. I gotta have a lot of whys.
Yes, sir.
I gotta have a lot of whys more than I have wishes. So wishes could just be what they were at 15.
Yeah, they temporal too, you know what I'm saying? Temporal. The why is eternal. That's what keeps you, even when you feel like, oh shoot, I'm about to give up. Oh shoot, this client too difficult.
Is it really the right way for me? Is it the right career choice? Because I can go back to school and get another degree and
I can do whatever.
Another salary.
Right.
Just the pivot you finna make.
But your why is what sustains you in the high moments, the midway moments, and even in the moments where you about to combust. That why is critical.
Yeah. We were searching for the right way, did a lot of wrong. Can't go back, gotta move on. Gotta move forward, corrections given and accept that living still brings pain. Even when you're moving with the best intentions and you blessed with visions of joy, bliss, peace. Gratitude for every day I live to speak and I live to breathe in growth and abundance. Traumas get healed when the shadows confront it. I know my truth, I wear it in public. Meditate, pray, and give praise when I rise. Keep a clear mind and the planet stays high. Came here with everything, came here perfected. Took on some bags that I thought were protection. I let it all go, every limit. Grateful for peace in this life that I'm living. Glad to say the cycles are finished, complete. And I'm still on my feet. Wishing you peace. Wishing you peace. Wishing you peace. Well, thankful. Peace.